Has Trump been gaining across various sections of the society? Has Trump been gaining across various geographical segments of the country? All this is going to be discussed today. We have a small slide deck for you, and we will be going over it systematically, and you will get a sense of which way America is going after you see this video. A quick request to all of you to please like this video, and now we'll start the slide deck going. How key demographic groups voted in the 2024 elections. NBC's coverage of the 2024, NBC, by the way, is left-leaning, just as CNN was, or ABC also was left-leaning. I think with the exception of Fox and maybe X, every other mainstream TV channel or mainstream media was more or less left-leaning. Now, NBC's coverage shows some surprising findings in the demographics that supported Donald Trump. So this has come as a complete surprise. Don't think that there was just some places where Trump won. There was a wave for Trump, and this wave actually was quite pronounced, as you will see in the next few slides. Some surprising margins between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris within groups, including voters under 30 years of age, Black voters, Hispanic voters. All these things, many of them voted decisively in favor of Trump, thus handing him the win. So this gives when you see the numbers, you start wondering, if it was such a decisive win, how come? Well, we're going to try and answer that question also. In 2024, Trump made notable gains amongst Latino voters, particularly in the states like Florida and Texas, where his tough stance on immigration resonated. Rural white voters and working class voters continued to solidly back him, reinforcing his strength in these demographics. This kind of makes it very odd, isn't it? The blue-collar workforce used to be the solid vote bank of the Democrats, and now they have turned 180 degrees. Why? What happened? All this we will be discussing today. Now, some of these shifts are seen as part of a larger trend that is reshaping the political landscape in the United States as traditional party alignments are being tested. You have to understand and wonder who is going to be the next big face in the Democratic Party. Likewise, who's going to be the next big face in Republican Party. We have some candidates that are easily identifiable in the Republican Party. We'll have to wait and see how this shows up in the Democratic Party. Trump's ability to increase support in unexpected demographics has been a key part of his broader electoral strategy, and this may influence how both parties adjust their approaches heading into the general election in 2028. In 2024, Trump achieved notable gains across various demographic groups and traditional Democratic states, as indicated by exit polls and analysis. This is where the numbers come in. Number one, voters under 30, 12-point shift to Trump, 12, 1, 2. Black voters, 15-point shift to Trump. Hispanic voters, 38-point shift to Trump. Asian voters, 32-point shift to Trump. If you are Asian and if you have not yet shifted, you may want to think long and hard why this is happening. Now, look at it from the state-wise, geography-wise, how much shift happened. New York, 11-point shift to Trump. California, 11-point shift to Trump. Remember, I told you that the voting percentage was in the high 20s and close to 30% for Republicans in California. Now Trump has come very close to 40%. That's what you are seeing, 11-point shift. Not only that, in California, Trump has turned 11 or 10 counties red, with possibly more turning red. Many races in California are very, very close, and it is expected that the Senate, the Republicans will capture the House also. They are 4 shy at this point of time, but there are many battles where they are quite far ahead. So we'll have to see how this plays out. Next, New Jersey, another 11-point shift to Trump. Massachusetts, 9-point shift to Trump. Maryland, 9-point shift to Trump. Illinois, 8-point shift to Trump. when you look at these states, all these 6 states, these are like solid blue states, very, very strong blue, which is why when you see this big shift coming, it tells you that America is not exactly gung-ho about the way the Democrats have run the country in the past 4 years. I've never seen so much of a huge shift away from the ruling party. Typically, right, in the first term, the president will do a few things, unless they are horrible, like the way Biden's presidency turned out to be. You don't, usually you get re-elected. For example, George Bush Sr. had only 1 term, and that was because he misread the economy and he made some statements which said that, I don't go to the supermarket, so I don't know how this thing, economics used to call it as voodoo economics. That's why Bill Clinton, who defeated him, used the line, "It is the economy, stupid." So something like that here, "Make America Great Again," has resonated with people. You can ask me why it did not resonate in 2024. That is an aberration. We know why, and let's not go into that. Let's just take a look at what is happening here, how things are going to shape up. Certainly, it is believed that Trump will see this term through, and perhaps if he announces his successor ahead of time, like say, for example, a year before, and there's every chance that Republicans could come back to power. Because now in California, for example, it was 56-40. Democrats to Republican. So, see, the momentum has just started. And we are still seeing that Asian Americans, who tend to be conservative, Hispanics tend to be conservative, have a lot of family values. If they start going away from the Democratic vote, it is game over for Democrats. And once California swings Republican, then the House becomes a solid Republican bastion. So this is going to be bad news for Democrats. I don't know what the Democrats are thinking, how they are going to reshape their party, who is going to be their new leader. Certainly Gavin Newsom does not inspire many. You ask me, I'll tell you, he has made a mess of things in California. In fact, he thinks he is going to come up with a poison pill that will prevent California from having to get any benefits from Trump, or even avoid the blowbacks. I don't think that's going to happen. California is solid red in terms of budget. It's overextended. It needs money, and if they take Trump head on, that's not going to augur well for Democrats. Also remember that a lot of illegals are in California too, and they also need to leave the country. So there is another video that I'm going to do a little bit later. It will give you an essence of the new border commissioner, Bowman, and what kind of battles he faced in congressional hearings. It's a very compelling video. Around that, I'm going to give you a little bit of a backdrop on what is possible, what is not possible. And, very interestingly, he simplifies the whole thing. Infiltration into US from Mexico happens only in 3 places. If you plug those 3 gaps, you got much of the illegal immigration solved. So we'll talk about all that and more in the next monologue segment that I'll be doing. It'll probably come earlier, closer to the time that you wake up in the morning in India. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.